Our second poet this evening is another powerhouse from Los Angeles, Suzanne Lummis. She teaches at UCLA. She directs the Los Angeles Poetry Festival. She loves all things noir. I'm pretty sure she's part vodka gimlet. She's recently curated an upcoming event series called Noir, a noir series called Night in the City that will be all over Los Angeles soon. She's the author of In Danger, and she's here to present a piece, excerpts of a piece she wrote for Thomas Girtin's Durham Cathedral and Castle. Please welcome to the stage Suzanne Lummis.
So, it's funny, in order to find my way to the stage, I have to wear my glasses. Then, in order to read, I have to take my glasses off. Then, in order to get off the stage, I have to put them on again. And so somehow that's not very noir. I don't know, but it's my life. Now, when I took on this painting, when I first saw it, immediately I realized I was going to be, it was so large, the subject, that I decided to write something called a sequence poem. When you write a sequence poem, you can approach this large and difficult subject from one area, and then you can kind of complete it, finish it, and then come at it again from a different perspective, a different way. So in the process, I ended up with a sequence that involves me weeping in Jack in the Box in Monrovia, and another one, another one which is simply a Facebook communique from my friend Morag, who lives in Manchester, England. And at the end of this exploration, I wound up with a poem that's too long for me to read. So I'm going to just sit down now. Now, I'm going to read the first and the last section. In terms of the little motifs that run through, I think the only thing that comes up in the middle is the idea of far, far, far away, inaccessible, unable to arrive at a place far away. All right. In which Lummis makes several attempts to scale the castle and apprehend the cathedral on Thomas Girtin's Castle and Cathedral circa 1797. I didn't see it, the hint or suggestion maybe of pink or rose, a shimmering pale like another sky unfurling itself behind the usual sky. Not at first. First, I saw the watercolored castle, Girtin's, then a different artist's castle. I don't like memory as a word. It's weak, so I won't use it. I saw it in my head, the path through ocean breeze-pushed grasses that dropped to the arching bridge, then up to round castle towers that looked somehow as if they'd always been there, and the cliffs just poured from them. Children in frocks and pantaloons, straw hats and sailor suits danced down the incline over the gully and up, growing tiny, tinier, and I followed, tracing the path with my finger to the castle door that would not budge for me. I wanted in. I wanted the stairs that wound through the tower to the high chamber, a room of moon and morning light, as I imagined it, apricot, silver. Understand, I had no reason to complain. I wasn't starved, neglected. My parents loved me and each other. But outside the brown shingled lodge, a cutting wind hurried the new snow, dry, shifting over last week's hard-packed snow. It wasn't my life I minded, but the world. I wanted some other one not so white with the frozen creek water showing through black, and way off, gray, lonely Highway 80 rimmed with ice. The weird children had found it, this other place, all of them skipping up the embankment in their lucky fairy dust slippers. Everyone was going but me. You can get it now on eBay, that children's book, circa 1921, an age both Girtin and I missed too early and too late. Of course, I know now, in the age of knowing, nobody goes. Castles like that are made of air. No, not the usual air. I mean the kind that drifted in the world before some scientist discovered the existence of oxygen and gave it its name. The first air, the kind that surrounded us, and we breathed it, lived in it, before we even knew what it was. When I looked again, try again, the twin colossals, and there, slanting just below, ragged, uncrushable dwellings with thick stacked brick chimneys and windows the poor lean from, made of pigment. And the slippery water that bends over the sheer drop and foams towards those of us cast out here, pigment and water and a sealant to keep it in place, and still like that, and moving. And the dream I almost had, keep having, I step inside because one can pass through paint in dreams and parchment. I'm standing just ahead of what the viewer knows, and all around birds signal their letterless tipped syllables. They overlap with the overlapping waters. Of course, I'm gazing at the tower. So I take one by one each step, 320 steps. But in this dream I'm almost having, steps aren't made of stone, but desire, turning, the way desire does in life. Now, this top door will open at a touch, the right touch, a press of fingertips. 3. When it's revealed, I see it was never the room, after all, which is just a space for possessions, a roof to sleep under, a mirror. It's the window. Always it's been the window. I gaze out first at the sky with its waves of muted light and the wash of some secret other sky. Then down. Look. It's there. The beautiful world. And at its heart, that place I'd been standing before by the river, starry now, almost translucent, calling out of itself, and far, far